Last fall, I took my first ever solo trip to Edinburgh, Scotland, and it was one of the most incredible experiences of my life. Here's a breakdown of my 4-day itinerary to help you experience the same magic too. Day 1, I checked into my room at the Hub by Premier Inn. I really enjoyed my stay here. I think it's a great option for solo travelers and reasonably priced for the location. Located just a block away from the Scott Monument and Princess Street Gardens, which was exactly the first two spots I went to after dropping off my luggage. After taking in all the magical views, I grabbed lunch at Dishoom. Highly recommend the chicken tikka, garlic naan, and okra fries. Stopped into the National Portrait Gallery, which was free to enter, and an absolutely stunning hidden gem full of lots of history. And to end my first day in Edinburgh, I hiked to the top of Calton Hill to watch the sunset. Day 2 was jam-packed. I started off the morning on Cockburn Street, did some shopping, and grabbed a coffee and pastry from the milkman. Then explored the Royal Mile, and after securing some fun souvenirs, stopped into Ikigai Ramen for lunch. The chicken tori was 10 out of 10. Afterwards, I headed over to the world-famous Greyfriars Kirkyard, which was an eerily cool experience. Treated myself to a delicious donut from Kilted Donut, took in one of the most picturesque views of the Edinburgh Castle from the Vennel, and then spent some time exploring Victoria Street, aka the real-life Diagon Alley. Stopped by the University of Edinburgh for this jaw-dropping view of the Hub. Literally felt like I was in a painting or something. Took an evening stroll in the Princess Street Gardens, which was just even more beautiful during golden hour. Then ended my night with dinner at Baba. Marinated chicken thigh and cauliflower fritters were incredible. Day 3 was much more slower paced compared to day 2. I grabbed a coffee and pastry from Room and Rumors before stopping into the Writers Museum, another beautiful and historical gem located just off the Royal Mile. Afterwards, I grabbed brunch at the Edinburgh Larder, which word on the street is the spot to come to for a full Scottish breakfast. Then I mostly spent the rest of the afternoon reading and relaxing in the Princess Street Gardens, but some alternative activities you could do would be visiting the National Museum of Scotland or touring Holyrood Palace. And finally, day 4, I woke up early to spend a peaceful morning in Dean Village. The views here were so stunning, literally felt like I was in a fairy tale. I then took the Water of Leith walkway over to Stockbridge. This trail was also so gorgeous with all the beautiful fall leaves and river flowing nearby. Once in Stockbridge, I grabbed breakfast at the pantry, which was so good, snapped some photos at the iconic Circus Lane, explored around a bit, and treated myself to a croissant from Lenan Bakery before stopping into the Gently Mad bookstore. This family-owned bookstore was such a gem. Walking in felt like taking a step back in time. Back in Old Town, it was time to tour the Edinburgh Castle. This ended up being such a cool experience with lots of different exhibits to explore and so much history to learn. I think touring the castle is an absolute must. For lunch, I grabbed a bite to eat at Macca's Mash Bar, which is the spot to come to for Scottish comfort food. Got the beef shoulder with smoked bacon mash, and it was probably my most favorite meal of the entire trip. And finally, to end my last day in this beautiful city, I made my way to Uplands Roast for the iconic proper hot chocolate and watched the sunset in the nearby park. There's clearly so much magic to experience in Edinburgh. Which of these spots are you most excited to visit?